When learning a new language, most people tend to translate everything into their mother tongue before understanding it. However, this habit slows down the learning process and prevents fluency. Instead, the goal should be to listen to English and understand it directly in English without any mental translation. This approach will significantly improve comprehension and speed up thinking in English. From today, if you're serious about mastering English, make a conscious decision to stop translating and start understanding in English itself. Another important factor in language learning is how we listen. Usually, when we listen to something, we focus on understanding the meaning. This is natural, but it is not enough for language improvement. Instead of just understanding the meaning, we need to focus on the language itself. When someone speaks, we automatically grasp the meaning of their words, but that alone does not help us improve our English. What we need is to absorb the language structure, sentence patterns, and vocabulary. The way to do this is by listening to the same material repeatedly until it becomes ingrained in our memory. To illustrate this, think about how we memorize a song lyrics. Many people who do not know a particular language can still sing along to songs in that language simply because they have listened to them multiple times. This is called learning by imitation. When children learn to speak, they listen to the sounds around them, repeat them, and eventually start using them in conversations. This is how language is acquired naturally. Adults can also learn English in the same way, by repeatedly listening to good quality English content. Technology has made it easier than ever to access English content. In the past, finding good learning material was difficult, but now, with the smartphones, one can record, replay, and practice English anytime. If you listen to a well-spoken English passage or speech, record it on your phone and replay it multiple times. Do not just listen once, listen again and again until the words and phrases become familiar. This practice will help in internalizing correct sentence structures and pronunciation. Just like students record lectures in class and listen to them repeatedly to prepare for exams, English learners should record useful English content and listen to it daily. Listening to correct English is essential because it ensures that you develop accuracy in the language. Many people who learn English pick up incorrect sentence structures and pronunciation because they are exposed to poor quality English. Even if someone has a good vocabulary, incorrect grammar can make their speech unclear or unprofessional. Listening to well-spoken English helps in improving fluency and correctness at the same time. Another powerful method of improving English is through reading. Many people have studied English throughout their education, but very few develop strong reading habits. Reading a book, article, or any English text once is not enough. Just like listening, reading should be done repeatedly. The first time, focus on understanding the meaning. The second and third times, focus on how the sentences are structured, what kind of vocabulary is used, and how ideas are expressed. For example, if you read a short passage from a book, do not move on after reading it once. Read it multiple times. Try to notice the different sentence structures, the way adjectives are used, how conjunctions connect ideas, and how the author expresses emotions or opinions. This type of deep reading improves not only comprehension, but also writing skills. Many people struggle to write in English not because they lack ideas, but because they have not exposed themselves to enough well-written English. By reading high-quality English repeatedly, you will naturally start to use better sentences when you speak and write. One effective way to improve English through reading is by choosing books written in clear and high-quality English. Instead of relying on a dictionary to memorize difficult words, it is better to read books that naturally expose you to good vocabulary. Instead of memorizing random vocabulary words, reading a well-written book helps you understand how words are used in context. However, reading should not be treated like studying for an exam. Many students memorize information just to pass tests, but that is not the right way to learn English. Instead of just reading to understand content, pay attention to how English is used. Notice the grammar, sentence patterns, and word choices. A single page, if read multiple times, can teach more than an entire book read only once. In many countries, many people are bilingual or even multilingual, but despite learning English for years, they struggle to speak fluently. This is because they do not actively practice English. They speak their native language every day, so they become fluent in it. But when it comes to English, they do not use it regularly, and that lack of practice prevents fluency. Some students may argue that English is not necessary for their careers, but the reality is that English opens up many opportunities. If someone decides to work only in their native language, they must be exceptionally good at it. However, in today's world, English is often required for better jobs and higher education. Many competitive exams, professional courses, and even social interactions demand proficiency in English. Therefore, whether one likes it or not, learning English properly is beneficial. The key to mastering English is daily practice. Just like people dedicate time to religious rituals or morning routines, they should set aside time for English practice. Every morning, make it a habit to listen to an English speech or read a page from a book. This daily repetition will gradually improve fluency. Many people admire fluent English speakers and wish to speak like them, but admiration alone is not enough. Those who speak fluently have practiced listening and reading regularly. Instead of making excuses, one must take action. Language learning requires patience and consistency. No one becomes fluent overnight. However, by listening to high-quality English every day and reading good content repeatedly, improvement is guaranteed. Learning English is not just about understanding meaning, it is about absorbing the language itself. So, make a commitment today. Stop translating in your mind, listen and read actively, and practice every single day. If you do this, fluency in English will become a natural part of your life.